I believe the Palestinianism in Gaza is on a level of evil that we saw in Japan and we saw in Germany back in World War II.
2 billion Christians, which are idol worshippers, between Chinese, Indian, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christian, at least 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers that, according to the Torah, do not have the right to live.
We must stand up against evil with no mercy because the entire world order is at risk.
The entire order of international law that was put into place after World War II, after the Holocaust, after the crime of the Nazis, is now being destroyed by the State of Israel, which is now becoming increasingly authoritarian and will end up being a full-blown apartheid state.
And every nation that has opposed Israel, God has been in opposition to them. And I'm going to stand up for Israel. And if that offends you, you're in the wrong church this morning.
If there's a world war that threatens it threatens the entire world, yes.
The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
The Israelis, they're on the front lines of the same global jihad that threatens all free people.
Powerful elites have been at the center of the manufacture of anti-Muslim hatred across the world. Back in the 2000s, at the height of what was called the War on Terror, a new so-called intellectual movement emerged. One that was led by Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Lawrence Krauss, Daniel Dennett, and others. And they began taking aim specifically against Islam and Muslims. All of them, with one way or another, had connections and relations with Jeffrey Epstein. Here's an email from Krauss in which he mentions he'll set up a meeting with Dawkins and Pinker. Here's a picture of Richard Dawkins seated next to Epstein. Dawkins also mentions how he and Richard Dennett were flown to a location on Epstein's private jet called Lolita Express. Sam Harris is also featured in the emails where Epstein invites him to have a private dinner with himself and Woody Allen. So Epstein is not only associating with rich capitalist pro-Zionist elites who fund anti-Muslim hatred, but he's also bringing together a network of atheist academics to demonize Islam and Muslims as though Muslims and Islam are the most, evil people on the face of the earth.
We are actually facing a serious issue. You see radical Islam taking over the world.
The Muslim community worldwide, it has produced a seemingly unending supply of suicide bombers.
It's the Muslims that are the problem.
The talking points are not organic. They always come back with the exact same arguments. I mean, word for word.
So there's only Islam, there is no Islamism.
Islam taking over the world.
Conquered the world.
Global jihad.
Phenomenon of global jihad.
Maniacal plans to impose radical Islam on the world.
Because there is this one unique supremacist faith.
Israel, their people, the Jews, are better than all of us. They're better than all of us. And you need to accept that.
I just want to say this to our Christian friends, just to call it as it is and say it straight out, you guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here. Yeah. We're all God's firstborn and we're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs. Okay? The orcs are coming not to a theater near you, but to your home.
1 billion people, you say. All these billion people don't hold these pernicious beliefs? No, they don't.
It's radical Islam, it's extremist Islam. No, there's only Islam.
That's just not true, Ben. That's just not true.
You think that one day they're going to turn? I mean, should we be afraid?
But we're misled to think that the fundamentalists are the fringe.
You'll be the first one to get murdered by the Muslims.
There is that in the Muslim world, it is mainstream belief.
Every Muslim is a terrorist.
I think that Prime Minister Netanyahu is going to be remembered as a Churchill.
The guardian of Western civilization.
That saved not only Israel from radical Islam, but also Western civilization.
It's starting to be awakening in America. This country is going to be taken over by Islam.
The quicker the United States and the West realizes this, the better off we'll all be.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
No, the solution is very much what
we've killed more Muslims than they've killed us by an awful lot. We've invaded more Muslims.
I am not for more killing.
An awful lot. And yet somehow we're exempted from these things because they're not really a reflection of what we believe in. We did by accident. That's why we invaded.